So, what do we have here? A new model. Disregard this. I'm using a 9 router. So basically, I have it plumbed into a group in case it fails, because a lot of the time these models will go down because so many people jump on it and test it all at once. So the way to basically do that is to keep things going is basically you have to use a router. And this is the router that I use. So the combo, like GLM default, which I'm using here on high. The first model is actually 5.3, then it defaults back to 5.2. But yeah, so that's sort of my stack that I'm using. And if you've ever used 9 router, this thing's pretty amazing, by the way. It lets you create these combos. And you can kind of set up like a whole stack of free models as well. And then you can watch it go, which is pretty cool. And it's really nice to have like a really high power model like GLM-5.3 on top of like free models, and you just get the high power model basically to do all the heavy lifting and the crazy stuff, and then you basically make the free model its slave and it kind of bosses it around, treats it badly, but it works, and it reduces costs and reduces your quota or your usage by a lot by using these free models. This also has a quota tracker, which is pretty cool, and GLM I think was nice enough to give everyone a reset today. So I was at probably about 30% of my usage this week, and woke up and it was at 100, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start playing. The idea is basically to see what it can do as far as web design goes. So I have a website, comparesana.com, and Comparesana is pretty new. It's just going to be like an affiliate site where basically I get search traffic for high quality articles, and then I feed it into Amazon or another affiliate eventually down the line, and then I make a little revenue off of it. Hopefully we can get GLM-5.3 to improve this site, because it was created with GLM-5.2. So let's see if it does a better job at maybe upgrading the visuals, because it's kind of basic. Like if you look at this, it's pretty like I'm not really into it. The color scheme's boring. Like, yeah, this should be kind of transparent or something. I don't know. Like it just doesn't do it for me, and like the menus are all screwed up, and So I think the idea is to get it to improve that a little bit. So let's get started. Oh, and I'm using OpenClaw, by the way, guys. This is a agent harness that's really good, that works really well with GLM. Also, Hermes agent is another one that's I would recommend. But honestly, OpenClaw's kind of got the better web interface, so that's sort of why I use it. So I sort of already have this thing running on a goal here. I asked it basically to assess the site while it was running GLM-5.3, and just to look at everything and see what the problems are, and it found some new things. So the products don't have data, which I knew about because I actually just started this website yesterday. So it found that the products don't have data. The other model was kind of stupid on this. And the products don't have images. Also, there's 766, 812 products are Amazon.com. And the European site should prioritize whatever. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so it's kind of done a quick thing, finding like bugs and just common sense things that probably should be fixed or improved upon. The next stuff is like median stuff, so product pages, blah blah blah. Scoring is incomplete. Yeah, no shit. There are only 5 products that were scored. No structured data. That's important because like the main driving factor to this site is just having like really better SEO than anyone else, so that we get traffic and then we can funnel everything into Amazon or to whatever other affiliate that we have a sort of a deal set up with, and make a little bit of money on sales if someone decides to like basically pull the trigger. And the big thing is like, so like I've noticed like doing this kind of thing is very profitable because when people are like at the point where they're comparing 2 products, they're usually about to buy one. So I've been sort of like going around and making all these compare sites, and it's actually been converting a little bit. But now the idea is like, because I started off, I did like a 3D printing filament compare site, and now I'm doing a little higher end things because like selling something that's 10 euros at you make 3% of 10 euros or 5% of 10 euros. It doesn't really do it for me. So I think higher end items with lower volume might be more profitable because if I sell something that's like 4,000 or 5,000 euros, then 3 to 5% is quite a decent sum of money to make. So yeah, I've sort of been focusing on higher end stuff like saunas. I don't know. Another one I made. Compare AI hardware. This is another site I made, and it leverages kind of like GPUs and hardware workstations, mini PCs, laptops. All the big stuff. And like the idea here is like if I make an affiliate sale, then I make quite a bit of money, especially with the prices of these things today. So let's get back to this. Let me take a quick look at my channel, and there is no one here. Oh, is there actually anyone here? Let me see. Chat is disabled. Shit. That could be a problem. Live chat is disabled for this video. Oh shit. That sucks. I don't know how to change that. This is actually my first video, so please hang in there with me. Or hell, maybe I can make a chat room real quick. So let's see. Let's make a quick chat room. Okay, so let's make a new session here. Hello. I have a YouTube video and I am not able to chat with my viewers. Can we a chat room for them on the domain name the URL is something like compare AI hardware chat. Okay. You should not need any major site and just a chat room to talk to people. I should probably be using Whisperflow because I think it's probably pretty freaking annoying to listen to me talk like that. So let me get okay. Let's see if this actually works. That's the first, I guess, demo case. Because I can't really figure out, it won't tell me how I can enable chat. It just says chat is disabled. So I'm sure there's something stupid that I didn't do. Details. Show more. It doesn't really track where. It's not made for kids. Restrict my thing for 18 maybe. And okay, I figured it out. Comments on chat. Moderation none. Okay, that might work. You might not need this chat room, but we'll see what GLM-5.3 managed to do. And I think we have chat. Yeah, we have chat. Okay, cool. So this might take a little while. I think the API might not be the fastest today because everyone's rushing into using it. But while this cooks, let me talk a little more about 9router. And yeah, you can see it's kind of churning away. It's eating my GLM-5.3 credits, which is a good thing. And the other cool thing about 9router is this. So you have a token saver, and token saver basically compresses your tokens, and it also injects cool prompts like lazy senior devel, which in the end it reduces costs because everything really is it's important to reduce costs because AI models will get really expensive if you don't. I kind of lucked out. I got the GLM like crazy coding plan before it went up. They doubled the price to like over 100 euros or $100 per month, and I got it for I think like 45 or 50. So like I have currently the max coding plan, which I got it because I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this company was going to make really good models after seeing 4.7 released, and then the super fast progression to GLM-5 and how good that model was. It was just like a no-brainer that this company is going to continue to accelerate their model's ability. So yeah, if you don't have GLM-5, this is a good place to get it. Z.ai. I have the max plan, and honestly, for what I'm doing, I need more. But it's definitely more than what ChatGPT gives you. Also, like, I think it's better now because so far, like what I've been doing with GLM-5.3 today, it kind of surprised me. It's definitely a lot better than 5.2, and it kind of might beat Fable in a couple areas. It might also even beat ChatGPT in a couple areas. So, yep. So that's kind of what I use, and yeah, you can see my payment method. I have my plan here. It says 672 per year for the max plan. So like I got it really early, and that's unfortunately not the case anymore. It's quite more expensive, but I think it's still worth it compared to like the price of Anthropic. Like Anthropic is just, they go a little bit too hard with how much they charge, and honestly now I think the prices might even go up here from Z.ai because like they have something that it competes with Fable 5, I think. So let's go back here. Let's see if it created a chat room to test. It's still working. It's a little slow, but you know, it happens when you have a agentic framework connected to this thing. Like it just turns around and won't take a look. So it's building it on Lateral and Lightspeed on my shared host. So like I didn't tell it that, it figured it out. And sort of logging in. Uh-oh. Don't see any keys there. Oh shit, maybe I do have a key there. Let me change that real quick. Then I gotta change my key. Probably shouldn't be displaying outputs of OpenClaw while it develops. So it definitely displayed a key, but I'm going to change that real quick. But let's get this this test first, and let's see. There's actually a chat. So, what do you know? We have a chat. Are these actually you guys? Is there anyone in the chat for the chat test? Please respond and say something if you're actually in this chat. That'd be pretty cool. need to update my password real quick. So the chat works. So is there anything else anyone wants to see in the chat, maybe? Maybe we can come up with test its intelligence on features for the chat and just ask it basically to come up with ideas to make this chat better. Give me maybe 6 game-changing features. Oh, I can't spell worth a crap. Sorry, guys. That would really test your ability to code. I think it's still working though, so maybe I'll give it a second or two. I think it's testing. Yeah, we're testing. Our harness. And it took a screenshot. It's pretty good. What I don't know though is if 5.3 has vision, because 5.2 did not have vision. So let's vision. Yeah. Okay. We know we don't have vision, but that's okay because like earlier I showed you another tool like 9router. So if like you need vision and you have like this installed, you can always tell GLM-5.3 or whatever to use a vision model, and you can give it the API access to this model through this router, and then you have like a whole tree of different like vision models that it can kind of cycle through, and it's actually free to use all of these. So like there's OpenCode, and this provider is great, and there's also software that goes behind OpenCode that you can run in your console, which is really cool. But yeah, Mimo, they have DeepSeek Flash, the newest version of OpenCode as well. The other place that has free access, but you have to load it up with like $10 $10 worth of credit, but then you can use all their free models. It's AI Hub Mix, and honestly, they might because sometimes they load the frontier models. So like when there's a frontier model that comes out that's like new, like GLM-5.3, they put up an API endpoint that's completely free for like a day. So this might be good for anyone viewing. Maybe there's a free API for you if you don't already have access to GLM-5.3. So let's see. Yeah, to sign up, you just use Google SSO, and boom, you're in. But yeah, you give it about $10, and then you can use like all their free models. There's like a sort of a rate limit on it, but you know, it's free. So let's see models, and let's go free. Yeah, these are all the free models that you can run with them. So coding 5.2 they have, K3. This is actually disabled though. Like the K3 node doesn't work. And I do not see GLM-5.3 up here. But maybe it'll be up there in a day or two once. Cause I don't know if they released the weights for 5.3 just yet. I think it's probably just running on the API. So, but yeah, if you don't know about that provider, it's a nice thing to have while this thing codes. Okay, so yep, success. We have a comparisona /chat, and it's up. So let's feed it the next prompt. to basically come up with ideas to make the chat better. Give me a list of 6 game-changing features that would really test your ability to code. Let's go. And yeah, we'll wait for a couple minutes here. And let's take a look at the chat here. It's kind of crazy. Maybe I should have like SSO on here or something. There's no real stuff, but I basically just gave it a real dumb prompt to begin with to develop this, and it was successful. The UI UX looks decent. I told it to basically make it feel like YouTube, which it looks and feels like a YouTube chat. Okay, we've got features. So 6 picks, all buildable inside single file, no database, shared hosting constraints, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what we want. Yeah, live polls, moderation could be cool. What about, this is a crazy idea. Can we add visual effects? So my idea is maybe we can have buttons that users can push, and then everyone can see like these visual effects in real time. Can we add visual effects for each user? Okay, this is my idea. This might have never been done before. And I think that's probably something good to test it on. So like the idea is to like basically have a visual effect that's tied to your microphone in the chat. And the visual effect does audio reactive, sort of like driven visuals for each person in the chat room, and everyone can see those audio reactive visuals streamed across the server. So like these are kind of boring. I kind of think like this has been developed before, this has been developed before, this is something that exists, this is something that exists. So like, yeah, my idea is to test it on something that quite possibly does not exist and see how it fares. Because yeah, you know, everyone says like LLMs are sort of like these like huge repos of code, and so if it's actually intelligent, then this probably does not exist in a repo of code. And if it's able to build it, then it's actually intelligent. So yeah, let me get back to like 9 router. Yeah, this thing's so cool. And you can install this local. So if you have like a crappy little computer, like or like a home lab setup, this is something that's really good to install local. And it's completely open source. You just like 9 router, GitHub. And honestly, like the way I installed this is I just told OpenClaw, I said, hey, go to this repo, install this software, and boom, it installed it. And this like saves me so much like headache, because like whenever there's a new model, like I pop in here, and then I go to my provider. So like this morning, I saw that GLM-5.3 was launched, and then I click, you know, the coding plan, and then boom, that's add model, and you just type the name here, and it links up. So It's super easy. Like, you don't have to deal with like stupid like text files, which are a pain in the ass. And you can also add multiple keys to it. So you can add multiple keys, and then you can cycle through these keys. So if you're using a free provider, you can pretty much use this like free providers all night long, like without paying a cent. So let me get back to it. It's still working. And I think I might take a short break here while it works. Let's see if I can add text. So yeah, I'm going to let it work. Ooh. You probably don't need that. It's taking a minute. Let me see. Are we using GLM-5.3? We are, in fact. It's just hiding all of its logic from us, except for here. Or it has a sub-agent spawned, actually, probably. So let's see, sessions. Yep. We have 2 sub-agents spawned. And we're going. My friend just messaged me. He said, "So it begins. The AI bubble is going to burst finally. There is no money in making LLMs." Yeah. No money in making LLMs when it's free. But I don't know. I think there's money in making hardware. The hardware end of things will probably get even crazier. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, what do we have cooking? It's a big feature. Let's see, web audio analyzer node, canvas renders, broadcasts, by a lightweight poll server, side, thumbnail on CSS, HTML.js. It is chewing through. So if you just joined, we created a little chat room on one of our shared host websites. We told it to basically theme it like a YouTube chat. Here it is. And it successfully did that. Like, didn't really give it any guidance other than just make it look like a YouTube chat. And now we're telling it to add a feature that I believe probably doesn't exist in any other chat room. So there's no real example of this code in any Git repo, probably, to create visual effects for each user. The user should be able to basically trigger them. It starts like a microphone-driven visual effect that everyone can see. There should be 6 to choose from. So I don't think there's this exists anywhere. So let's see what its response and what its ability is on a novel coding task that's sort of unique. It's run into a cosmetic bug, but I think it's still working. That's the problem with doing like live coding things that take so long. Maybe I should do like 5 of them. But yeah, so the other thing I'm working on in the background, I have multiple agents going, is actually this site. So this is sort of the UI UX of the site, and this is done with GLM-5.2. And it kind of looks a little crappy. So what we'll do parallel to this is we'll tell it to update the UI UX for this. So I'm still pursuing the goal. So I'm giving it creative freedom here, but let's see if basically this UI UX changes in a 15 to 20 minutes. Because right now it's pretty dull. You have the basic like language, which they all work. GLM-5.2 is able to do this very well, but it just does not do it for me. Like, this is pretty ugly. There's some animation, but I think it could be better, and I think GLM-5.3 can make this a little bit better. So let's just see, like, especially like here. That's pretty good. But I think we need some kind of like filtering thing, because there's too many cards here. Like, if you're a user, you're gonna get here, you're gonna be like, and then you have to scroll, and then how do you hit the button? Like, okay, I select this one, I select this one, I select this one. There's 3, but I think there should be some kind of pop-up to compare or something. Instead of being all the way down there, they're going to get lost, and then scrolls back to the top. But yeah, I think that's the next step. So I'll ask GLM-5.3 to take a look at this page, and and let me know what they think is wrong with the UI UX experience to see if it can pick out the issues and if it's actually intelligent enough to do that. I think it might be. Okay, so let's see what the chat. Peter stop FX. Ooh, we have an FX. Pulse rings. Ooh, holy shit! It fucking works. Yeah, that is pretty cool. We got spectrum bar, and yeah, I think it is audio reactive. Now we just need somebody else to come into this chat room and see if we I can see your effect. Because this is definitely a novel idea for a chat room. Okay, let's see what other effects we have. Fireworks. That's pretty cool. Every time I speak, it pops a firework off. Okay. What other effects? We have ribbon wave. Ooh, that's pretty cool. And we have bubbles. That's kind of boring. Oh, looks like somebody else is in here, maybe? No. And star wrap. Whoa, holy crap. So if you're quiet, it doesn't move, and then if you talk, it goes really fast. That is pretty cool. And I think that GLM-5.3 just proved that it can code novel, unique ideas that don't exist in a code base. Oh, somebody's here. Let's see. I wonder if I stop my effects, if someone else can enable their effect and I can see it. That would be cool. Yeah. GLM 5.3 is in a data center somewhere, but it's actually it's running on OpenClaw. If you can see my screen, I have a 9 router here, and it's basically routing GLM 5.3 to OpenClaw, and it's going. So yeah, so I created this chat, and then I asked it to create a special feature to basically let chat users broadcast an effect that's streamed over the server that everyone can see in the chat. I think this is a novel idea. So, like, can you see can you use an effect? It's up here. It's FX, and then there's several. There's Star Warp, and then it displays in the back. Or there's like fireworks, and it displays. Or there's spectrum bar. But I'm curious if you can actually enable and use an effect. The chat is here if anyone else wants to join. So we're still going. I told it to update the UI UX for my Comparisana website. It looks dull, and I'm giving it free reign to figure out and see basically if it can figure the issues of the UI UX out on its own without me really giving it any instructions. But I think it'll figure it out. Like so far, like interacting with this model, it's a lot more intelligent than 5.2, and it has more of a design understanding, I think. But we'll see. Like it one shot at this like chat room is pretty crazy. And it actually does cool stuff. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, one cool thing I've been doing with AI is I've been connecting it to various like visual tools. So there's a program called Touch Designer, and I actually got 5.2 GLM 5.2 to program completely fully like Touch Designer stages for like audio reactive music festivals, like the entire stage. It's pretty crazy. But I think GLM 5.3 will definitely do that better because it just did this in the web, which like this is crazy. It works. Okay, so we keep working, and keeps going. So if anyone has an idea for a test, feel free to share. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. And the whole concept of live streaming is a little bit weird.